We have a special guest all the way from Thailand today. Yuki Nakatani is a calligraphy artist and writer from Japan who's been backpacking across the world selling her art to fund her travels. She often hitchhikes and finds free places to stay in exchange for work. She's truly living a free life and shares her journey on Instagram in the form of stories and reels. You can buy her book or support her journey at payhip.com/wanderartist1231 and follow her on Instagram at yu__1231. Welcome to IRL Ventures, Yuki.
Hello.
All right. I can hear you. Okay. Welcome. So thank you so much for being on the show. I know that it was a challenge trying to figure out a time that worked. It's currently midnight here, which is fine for me because I am a night owl. I stay up all night. But it's 11 a.m. for you over there in Thailand. So if you'd like to just introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself, that'd be awesome.
Okay, thank you. And you already introduced me in like a really nice way, and thank you so much. And yeah, I'm Yuki from Japan. Like I'm just traveling for a while. Then now I'm in Southeast Asia, but came from like Asia. Like I left Japan and South Korea, then Mongolia, then through China, and now I'm in Thailand. Yeah, then I do make living with my calligraphy and art. So yeah.
Awesome. And it's really, really cool, actually, your lifestyle. You're just going around the world for months and months on end, like with just a backpack, finding your way, funding yourself by selling your art. It's really awesome. And your videos are really interesting because you go to some really, really interesting and unique places. You find yourselves in a lot of interesting situations as well. And a lot of that is from, just meeting people and creating community and the kindness of strangers that become very close to you over the time that you spend with them. So I think that's really cool. So before we get into all of that, I want to hear about how you started your journey. How did you decide you're going to travel the world? Like, how did that all start?
Okay, it was a kind of long story. Like I graduated from university. Then I entered a company in Japan. Like I lived near Tokyo. Then I was working for 2 years at the time. But that time was so tough for me. And of course, it was my first real proper job. Then, 2 years working at that company was so much enough for my entire life. Then like sometimes I couldn't sleep. And so tough, but I was also happy because with the company's people are so nice, and I enjoyed a lot at the time, of course. But after 2 years, I was like, maybe I want to change something with my life. Then I decided to fly to India, and I went there alone. Then I spent like maybe 3 weeks there alone. Then at that time, I realized I really liked like traveling. Like since I was young, because when I was university student, I make money for traveling and travel few weeks and come back. I was always doing that. But since I started work, then I couldn't have that time to travel. But I realized I really liked travel because of the Indian trip. Then actually I had another job. I changed that job. Then I worked only 2 months, but I couldn't keep anymore. So then I said to my boss, the second job, like, oh, sorry, I want to travel around the world. Then I just bought the one-way ticket to Europe. And also I had a boyfriend at the time, even my ex-boyfriend, but we had been together for 2 years. But we finished. And then I left, and then I took the flight and flew to Europe. But when I was arriving in Europe, I realized there are only 35 euros in my bank account. I didn't know that because I thought I had more than like, a few, like more 5 times more. But I forgot I used a credit card. Then the credit company withdrew the money on the day I arrived in Europe. So then I needed to survive somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Then the only skill I had at that time was calligraphy, because I started the calligraphy at 7. So I just tried to survive there with my calligraphy. So I went to the street, then I started selling my postcard. Then like worked somehow. Then my life has totally changed at that time. Then I
You were
traveled.
able
Yeah.
to make enough money to,
Mm.
live, like have a place to stay, have food to eat, all of that stuff with just selling like postcards that you created on the street?
I mean, on the first day I start selling. I could earn only 15 euros.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found the cheap hostel for 11 euro. So I had only 4 euros remain. Then I bought the croissant and milk. Then I could survive on the first day. But second day I could earn twice. So, and also I met really good friends there. So he hosted me for
Oh,
a
that's
month.
awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
we shared 3 people in the room, so we had a good time. And also, he was from that city, so he showed me around that city.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
lucky.
Yeah, very lucky, but also, you're putting out good energy, right? So you're
Thank you.
hopefully trying to have that come back to you. So after, and how much time did you spend in Europe that first trip?
3 months in Europe and 1 month in Morocco.
Oh, wow. So that was 4 months. So that was like you quit your job, you broke up with your boyfriend, and you said, okay, I'm going away. Did you know it was going to be 4 months at that time? Or did you like have a plan at all? Or were you like, okay, now I'm going back to Japan?
No, actually, I thought I could only stay in Europe 1 month or something, because I only had 35 euros in, and I didn't I couldn't imagine I could survive with my art. I was an artist at that time, and also I never get money from my calligraphy. So, but it was working well. Then I was like, oh, I want to keep traveling like this way. Then after 4 months, but one of my friends, she lives in Japan, so she had a really good event. So she invited me back to Japan. Then I decided to go back.
Hmm.
Mm.
And what was the event that you went back for?
It was just like running something, like doing sports together. Like so many people came, and also she was my coach when I was a runner at the middle high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So then you're back in Japan, and then you thought, you know what, I want to go back traveling. So how long were you in Japan before you decided to travel again?
I stayed maybe 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to
did you
leave soon.
Did you use your art to live when you were back in Japan too, or?
No, actually not, because when I arrived in Japan, because I also bought my ticket to go back to Japan from Europe, it was also expensive. So when I was arriving in Japan, I also didn't have money at the time. Then I put my Instagram, the story. Then I was keep uploading my story, whole journey. Then I put the one contents like, hey, I arrived to Japan, but I hope you guys enjoyed my contents. If you enjoy, just tip me here, then I will send you the postcard I was selling in the Europe. So then at that time, the people tipped me 1,000 euros, I think, in total.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I could survive for 5 months. Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I want to go back traveling.
Yeah. But before, I was just wanted to keep my memories in something.
Yeah.
Then just came up my mind. It's to make book. I wanted to make my own book. So then I just focused on creating book. Then I made it.
And how long did that take you?
It was, when I was arriving in Japan, one of my friends, he invited me to have an exhibition in Tokyo. So it was March. Then I told my followers. Okay, I'm going to have an exhibition here in the March, and you can have my own book because I'm creating my book. Then I'm selling there. So I put pressure on me by
You
myself.
had a deadline that you
Yeah.
imposed on yourself. So then you're like, okay, now I got to write a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was super bad at planning. So like I arrived the 1st of December, but I started making book from February. So I just finished it within 1 month. I didn't sleep.
Wow. Wow. And the book, the pictures in the book were from your travels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. And you just talked about your experience in the book.
Yeah. And also at that time, the 4 months travel in Europe, I felt so much love from people, nature, everything. So that's why my book title is Love.
Nice.
Yeah.
And okay. And then you sold your book at the exhibition in Tokyo. And then where's the next place you went?
Sorry?
Where was the next place you went after you did your exhibition in Tokyo and sold your book?
I just started from South Korea because when I had the exhibition in Tokyo, I served the chai from India. Like I learned how to make chai milk tea.
Yeah.
So like I could serve that milk tea, but the people can tip me like from any country's money, the currency.
Right.
So the many people put me the Korean money. So I was like, oh, this is a sign to go to South Korea. Then I started from South Korea because I felt guilty because I got the South Korean money, but if I don't use okay, go to South Korea.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then you left to go to South Korea, and is that still currently the trip that you're on? Like, have you gone back to Japan since leaving that second time?
No. Like I left Japan last May, so almost 10 months now. Yeah,
You've
I
been
started to.
traveling for 10 months straight.
Now, yes, this
Wow.
travel.
And so like you did the exhibition, you went to Korea, and then you just kept going and you traveled all around the world, and now you're in Thailand. Wow, that's amazing. So the other thing that I think is really interesting is you're traveling all by yourself, especially as a young woman. There's a lot of safety concerns for that. Another thing also that I find really interesting is you have hitchhiked over 300 times, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you, like, if someone is a woman and they want to travel alone and they want to be safe, like what kind of like tips do you have? Like, how have you been able to stay safe while hitchhiking, staying with strangers, and traveling the world? Like, what kind of advice would you have?
Yeah, I'm still also learning, but I started hitchhiking when I was 19 in Japan, but I studied from Japan. Japan is super safe country, so I didn't really feel like unsafe or something. But in Europe, I was almost kidnapped once in Hungary. So at that time, yeah, I felt that I was in the highway service area. So then I put the Budapest, the sign. Then he stopped, but I felt a bit weird energy from him, but I was in a hurry because I needed to take a flight. So I was like, okay,
wow.
Let's go. Then I got a car, got a ride. But he asked if I have a husband, and I was like, oh no, I don't. I just broke up with my boyfriend, and I don't have any relationship. Then he started touching my body in the car.
Oh my God.
I felt so unsafe. So that's why I just opened the door on the highway. That speed was 100 kilometers per hour. But when I opened the door, he was really nervous or just upset. Then he did a brake. Then like around 20 or something, then I jumped off with my backpack.
Oh my God.
So my tips of hitchhiking, if you feel a little bit tiny pieces of weird feeling, just don't take a ride. And also if you are in a hurry, I don't recommend to do hitchhiking. Yeah, just you need to be chill. I think this is a way.
Right. So,
Mm.
I mean, I'm glad that you ended up being okay.
Mm.
Was there any other times that you felt unsafe while hitchhiking, or was that pretty much the only
Yeah,
time?
yeah, few times, especially as a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys, the most of the time, like 80% or 90% of the people who take me is a guy. So like sometimes people are really expected something, but that's why I try to get a ride. Like maximum is 200 kilometer with the one person. If I really became closer to that person, the percentage of the expectation that can be higher.
Right.
So I prefer change the car soon, like
Hmm.
1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, not 3 hours with the one person. If I can't
Right.
trust, just I will spend the time with the people. But if I feel like I still try to read people when I was have conversation
Hmm.
in the car, then I felt like I use some reason. Oh, okay, my destination is actually here, so can you drop
Yeah.
me here?
Right. So, okay. So there's definitely, I mean, yeah, there's obviously still a risk. You're getting into strangers' cars, and also you're all over the world, all different places you're not familiar with. A lot of the time, I'm sure you don't speak the same language even.
Mm, mm.
So, wow. So, so have you ever hitchhiked with a group? Is that something you would recommend? Like if you meet people along the way that you feel like you can trust and you've befriended, is it
Mm.
better and safer to like say like the two of you or three of you try to hitchhike together, or is it less likely that someone will pick you up if there's a group?
Yeah, this is the profit and this
Like the
this
pros and cons?
yeah. This is a balance. Of course, like with hitchhiking with a group or other people. Mostly, I do 2 person because three is too much.
Hmm.
So 2 people always good because I can feel really safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the gender because I also do the one woman. So 2 women is also safe, but still like takes time compared to doing alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, like when I was doing alone, some people admire me like, oh, you're so brave and I want to treat you and I want to take you to my house and invite it. And so
Right.
many miracle things and could happen but also unsafe at the time. So
Yeah.
like this is a balance. So I sometimes do with people, but I do alone too.
Yeah. And then, so most of the time, if people are like, oh, I want to, I'm going here, my house is here, I can cook food for you, do you
Mm.
usually accept it or no?
Most of the time I accept because like this kind of people are mostly family.
Ah,
Like I could see the children next to him. And also they were calling video call with the wife. Then I can, oh, you
ah,
can come. Then I could trust. Yeah.
right.
Mm.
Okay. So it's very important to be aware and to be smart and don't rush things. If
Yeah.
something feels off, then
Mm.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Wow. So, also, because we talked about language before, do you speak any other languages besides Japanese and English?
I mean, a little bit Korean
Hmm.
and a little bit Chinese
Nice.
and yeah, also German too, because I lived in Germany for just 6 months. So I have really small words.
Well,
Yeah.
6 months is a long time.
Mm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so how many countries have you been to total? That's that's another one I like to ask people.
I think around only 34. Yeah.
Only 34.
Yeah. You think? Yeah.
That's more than most people. Yeah. I think I'm around that too, actually. Um, so you said you started learning calligraphy when you were 7 years old.
Yes.
So that is something that you've continued learning throughout your life until you were like a teenager, or like how long did you learn it? And then when did you feel like, okay, I got really good at this?
I mean, I did it for 10 or 9 years in total, but just straight from 7 to before went to university, high school. Yeah, because I have two siblings, so we all were sent it by my mother to the calligraphy class because my mother is she hoped her children can write better. So
Nice.
it wasn't my choice to go to calligraphy class, but thanks to my mom, and I start liking, like start enjoying because
Yeah.
they take some contest every month. So, oh, this student is nice. This student is nice for this month. So I was motivated by this system, the Japanese calligraphy class. So
That's awesome.
then I start liking, and some people ask me to write something sometimes. Then I start realizing, oh, maybe my calligraphy, some people like and some people put value. So, yeah.
So calligraphy, we're talking about Japanese calligraphy, right? You're writing kanji, and you have to write the characters in the certain way, but then how do you add your artistic expression to it? Like, how does that come in where you decide like where I'm gonna like flourish the brush here, or like how do you decide that kind of side of it?
I started like this way just in these 2 years, like since I started selling my art on this street, because I did this 10 years, but this is really basic. And my purpose is how can I write the kanji beautiful way? So it wasn't more artistic things, but since I started the calligraphy as my job or like as an artist, so I was like thinking, what can I do with the calligraphy only like a unique way? Only I can do. Because there are so many people who can write a better, like a beautiful way, but I don't want to do in this way. I want to more put my creativity on my art. So I start learning, or I just start playing with my calligraphy sometimes. And sometimes I drink beer, then I just put the brush, then yeah. Then also when I was in Mongolia, I went to the Mongolian Calligraphy Center. So the owner just invited me to have an exhibition in that place.
Wow,
so I made 12 pieces of my art. Since practice at the time, I was like doing a whole week, but my character has changed from the beginning to the end. So I realized, oh, this is the way like I liked. Then I start liking more artistic or line with the water, ink. So yeah, my style has changed.
Wow. So how did you like get to meet the person that did the exhibition with you? Like, did you just meet them through someone you knew, or how did that happen?
I mean, in Mongolia, do you know couch surfing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I supposed to be hosted by one owner, but he canceled suddenly on the day. So I needed to find a place to stay. So I just booked a random hostel and I went there. I met a French guy. So French guy, and we are talking about, oh, I'm do calligraphy. And he was like, oh, calligraphy. I'm going to the calligraphy center in Mongolia. You should come. Okay, then I was, oh, okay, I go. Then I went there. So he was also there. He introduced me to the owner. And we talk a lot. And also the owner was traveling a lot. And I introduced, this is my book. And when he saw my book, the title, Love, so he also put, the love is important to him too. So we connected well. Then he invited me to have an exhibition in Mongolia, I think.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so like I keep saying, I say it all the time, but networking is very important. Meeting people, talking to people, and you don't know what kind of opportunities it'll lead to. And obviously, like, you say you have to be safe when you're traveling. but it is important, I think, to get out there and to meet people and share what you do, and maybe there's
Mm,
ways that you can help each other, right?
mm, mm,
So the content creation, you started doing that the first time that you were traveling around Europe, right? You were taking videos, you were taking
mm.
pictures, and you were sharing it on Instagram at that time, or not yet?
Yeah, at the time I was
Yeah.
sharing, but I never care about my follower number because
Hmm.
at the time I only had 1,400, but I just kept posting because of my memory.
Yeah. And then the more you post, just people started following you, like you just naturally gained more followers that way.
No, actually
No.
not.
Okay.
Just one video. So I got a DM from my followers. I want to see your backpack, the inside. What do you have? It was like I could share the old stuff to her, the answer through DM. But I
Yeah.
was like, oh, maybe some people is also curious. I can make a video for you, and also I can share. Then I made a real like a quick video. Then I posted. So this video, I could, my follower gained like 30K. Only
Wow.
one video.
Wow.
Actually, that's why I don't have any strategy. And also
Yeah.
after that video, I didn't, I didn't really gain because my follower now is 33K. So in a year, just I gained 3K.
3,000.
It's
Yeah.
nothing like compared to other content creator. I'm not doing really proper way, but I was just lucky.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, you say you don't have a strategy, but there's something in your mind that said, okay, I could just reply to this person, but I'm going to make a video instead. There's something that
Mm-mm.
told you, like, okay, I think this would be interesting to people. And you were right. Like, that's the thing is, you never know what's going to stick with people, what people are going to like. So you should just keep doing things and keep doing what you like, because if you don't like it, other people aren't going to like it, because they're going to see that you're not enjoying what you're doing, right? And then they're not going to want to watch that. But
Mm-mm.
so you gained 30,000 viewers from one video, so it just kind of got picked
Yeah.
up by the algorithm on Instagram Reels, and then
Mm.
blew up. And then you're like,
Yeah.
okay. But the thing is, though, it's like now you have that base, and you've gained 3,000 people. A lot of people don't gain that many followers in a year.
Yeah. So for me, sometimes I feel, oh, I need to post soon because I haven't been
Yeah.
posting. But also at the time I was like fighting with my thought, like, just don't care because I want to enjoy the life now. But at the same time, oh, I want to share because this is really nice people and nice
Yeah.
experience. So like always fighting still. Like I need to find the balance. Yeah.
Do you have like a kind of strategy or a way that you're like, okay, I want to have a certain style for my videos? Or do you just kind of do things? I know you do a lot of especially when you do your reels, you do voiceovers afterwards. So is there like a way that you like to shoot things, or you like to plan out trips so that you can get a good video out of it? Or do you just kind of document as you go?
Yeah, just a second way. Like I just taking video, and after that I start thinking, oh, maybe I can make this kind of video later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, when you're traveling the world and doing all these interesting things, it's like you're bound to see amazing things that you want to capture on video and share.
yeah,
And you just use your phone, correct? You don't have a
yeah.
camera.
I don't have a camera.
Yeah. And I think you were even sharing with me, like, you don't have a computer either, right? You just use your phone for everything.
Yeah, I do everything with my phone.
That's awesome. So, like, I mean, the thing is, honestly, what is success, and what does that mean to be a successful content creator? Well, you don't need to have really expensive equipment. You don't need to have gone to film school. You don't need to be like some, professional person, and you don't need to, spend a lot of time and money on it. You can literally go around with just your phone. Phones
Mm,
today are amazing. They're really like great quality, and
mm,
you can capture everything with just your phone, and
mm,
then you can support yourself by selling art and traveling around. Like, so
mm,
what other people might not think is success, it's like, well, if your goal is to be able to travel the world and
mm,
have a place to stay, have food to eat, and support yourself, like you're doing that, and
mm,
like you said, like you have like 33,000 followers, right?
mm.
So
Yeah.
you don't need a million followers. You don't need any of this stuff. It's like, it just depends on like what do you want out of life, and making that happen for yourself, right? And you're like a
Yeah.
perfect example of that.
Yeah. I love my life.
Yeah. Is there someone like sweeping? I hear like a sweeping noise or something.
Yeah. Like
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's we are live, and we are going across
Mm.
two different continents right now. So I kept hearing like sweep. I was like, someone sweeping
Oh.
there. But yeah. Anyway, the so let's get back in the interview. So when it comes to your future plans, how much longer do you want to be traveling before going back home to Japan? Are you thinking of ever going back home, or do you want to just have this be the rest of your life? Like, what are your future plans for your traveling,
Uh,
and for like, your career or your content? Like, in
mm.
general, what are your future plans?
Now I'm 28 years old. Then I said to my mom when I left, like, oh, see you again in 5 years. So my mom was thinking maybe 1 to 5 years, but I actually want to have a family one day. So I want to be a mom. So before becoming that, I want to travel and I want to see the world as much as what I want. And yeah, that's why I decided to travel now. But around me, like most of my friends start getting like a marriage or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I chose my own life like this
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
So
My
no specific plan.
no plan.
Good. That's nice. Yeah. No, I know, because I'm 30, or wait, I'm 32. I forgot how old I am.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm older than I think. The but yeah, a lot of my friends are getting married, they're having kids, and I'm like, oh, but I want to travel too,
mm,
and like do all these things first. Yeah, so I totally get that. But
mm.
do you have like not like necessarily when your travels will end, but like, do you want to do anything further with your art? Like, do you want to do more exhibitions? Do you want to like write more
Mm.
books? Anything like that? Or are you like happy just doing what you've been doing and selling your art as you travel?
It's a good question. Like, I'm still finding the way, like the proper way, like my more own style, because the calligraphy also I'm still learning. And now my calligraphy style is also changing. And when I created my own book, I just wanted to make a book. So then just did it. So I didn't think about future. And also, I don't know, maybe I want to make another book, but when I feel I want to have another book I want to create, then I will do. So that's just go with the flow. And yeah, I'm happy to have an exhibition and spread my calligraphy on the way. But yeah, I believe everything will come to the right moment and the right timing. So if there is any chance, I want to take it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really think. I just want to live in the present moment too.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy. Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of pressure from family or friends to like, oh, you should move back to Japan, you should settle down, you should have a career, like make more money? Like, do you get that a lot from like people you know? And how does that affect you?
No, never. I never felt that this way,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
because thanks to my mom is my, like, my best friend or something.
That's awesome.
she really understood me, and she always support me in the many different way, and mentally, and also the real things to do.
Hmm.
And my siblings are also like they love me, I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm
Great.
also, yes, grateful with my friends like around me. Yeah, I never felt the pressure of the career or something, because I don't think I could fit in the Japanese, so like the company working style society. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm glad that you have a lot of support. That's excellent. I'm happy
Mm.
about that. Is there any other stories or any crazy things that happened to you while traveling the world that you want to share? So I always like to hear the crazy stories.
Uh, Not like my travel style is changing a lot, because I started hitchhiking in South Korea and also Mongolia. I just moved by only hitchhiking. So then since I came to China, I took some transportation too, but I met a guy who has been cycling on the way. So I just decided to buy my bicycle. Sorry, I didn't put my upload on Instagram, so I don't think the people knows. But yeah, then I started the cycling now. Then I enjoying, and that's why like in China, like the last few months, I had been cycling. But I came to Thailand, so it's too hot here for cycling. So I just bought my motorbike. So like a new chapter has started also. And yeah, like I also enjoying the hitchhiking, but at the same time, I start liking the different way of travel. So yeah. Hmm.
But no like crazy thing like, oh, I almost fell off a mountain this time, or I I don't know, went skydiving or anything crazy. Any funny stories?
Mm, I want to do some crazy stuff like skydiving in a way, but I don't have any plan yet.
Mm.
But I did a bungee jump. I also liked, and I want to try free divings too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Where
but
where did you
no,
do
no.
bungee jumping?
Bungee jump was in Austria.
Austria. I went in China, and it was very it was
The
not very
highest
safe.
one in the world?
Is it? It's a Dragon Gorge.
I don't know, but the highest bungee jump now in the world is in China, like from the big city, from the high building.
Oh, no, no, no. I was out like in the countryside when I did it.
Okay.
But it was not very safe. A, like
Mm.
a lot of people almost hit their head because there's like this thing that you jump off, and then when you come back up, it like almost hit
Oh, that's
my
dangerous.
my friend was like 1 foot away from it. Because he
Mm.
was he was heavy. He was a like a big tall guy,
Wow, this is
and
not good.
yeah, and they just weigh you, and then they're like, okay, go, and then they use like Velcro and like it looked like a bike chain, like a bike lock chain. That's what it looked
Mm.
like. I don't know, maybe it was stronger than that, but that was all that was holding you in, is that, and like Velcro straps,
Mm-hmm.
and you just jump. But it was an amazing experience. I
Well,
loved it, but I will say I don't think it was the safest. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, but the bungee jumping in Austria, you felt like it was safe.
Yeah, it was
That's good.
safe. It was safe, yeah, but it was a weird position, the place, because from the bridge on the highway, so many cars are going about
Oh
me.
wow,
But it's the scene was good. Like,
wow.
yeah.
So what's like the kindest thing that has ever happened to you? Like you talk about love and experiencing kindness of strangers. So like what's the nicest thing like anyone that you met while traveling has done for you? Because it seems like people cook for you a lot. They let you stay there. Like what do you think is like one of the nicest things?
Uh, it's hard question, but I met the guy in Mongolia. He was camping for fishing with his son.
Mm.
So I was I joined the company because he invited me, and also we camped together. And we spent 3 days with them. I could see the really good relationship with he and his son. Like I could feel this family is so nice. I could feel so much love between them. Also, he was super nice to me, and I was also safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still in touch, and he also bought my book, and we shared and we call sometimes still.
Oh,
yeah,
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was lovely, and I wanted to invite them to come to my island in Japan because my relatives have the boat, so I want to invite them to fishing together in my island. Yeah,
that's awesome. Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so before we finish up, is there anything else that you want to let everyone know about before we finish? Where can they find your book? How can they support your journey?
Yeah, okay. Like I have a Patreon. Like I'm sending my new postcard from the country I'm in, and I just make the new art every month. So also one of the main way, and also you can access to my book from my bio. On Instagram, I just made the website a few days ago, so now it's ready. Yeah, right. And also I'm happy to hear any things that through DM. I'm also happy to reply and answer. So yeah, feel free to contact me anytime.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Yuki. So you can follow her on Instagram at @YU__1231. And you can visit her website and support her there as well. payhip.com/wanderartist1231. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get the book. I'm interested to read it myself. But thank you, Yuki, so much for coming on and sharing your journey with us today. I really appreciate it.
I enjoyed. Thank you so much for a great opportunity.
And don't forget as well, if you're watching this or listening to this, don't forget to join our Discord. The link is in the description for a community for travel video creators and IRL streamers. We want to become the go-to place for travel video creators and IRL streamers to join in community and collaborate with each other and learn new things.